My name is Abdullah Hassan, and I'm going to teach you today how to be an entrepreneur. I had a venture capital fund. We have two funds. One is in the UK and another is a fund that we have participated in the US. So what I'm telling you is out of very, very good experience and practical knowledge. So what we're going to talk about today is how to be an entrepreneur. While many people would like to pursue entrepreneurship, unfortunately, what they do is something that leads to a lot of problems and finally failure. In entrepreneurship, it is very important that you start the right way. So today, let's discuss how do you start entrepreneurship the right way. Now, the first thing that you need to do to pursue entrepreneurship is to come up with an idea, right? Now, there are many ways to come up with an idea, but the two that I usually recommend to everybody is that you basically have expertise in that area. So let's assume you are working for a bank and you have understood the banking sector very well. Now, you are the best candidate to launch a startup in the fintech space. The other way of opening up a good entrepreneurship business or an idea is that you suffer from a problem for too long, and because of your frustration and your continued efforts to try and see how you can resolve that problem, you end up being the right person to launch a startup for that idea. What I mean to say is, let's assume you're stuck always in traffic and you're always complaining there's so much traffic, why isn't this problem being solved? And one day you sit in your desk and come up with that solution. So when people suffer from a particular problem, they are the best people to come up with the solutions for it. Now, these are two recommended ways that I always suggest for people to come up with a new startup idea. Something that you're good at, as in you have skills and expertise for, or there's a problem that you've been suffering with for a long time and now you want to solve it. Now, once you get past that stage and you have your idea ready, once your idea is ready, I mean on paper and in mind, then what you need to do is you need to validate this idea. Most entrepreneurs fail because they do not validate their idea. So what I mean by validation is you need to ask 100 strangers just 3 questions. 100 strangers means people who are not your family, people who are not your colleagues and not your friends. Why? Because these people tend to give you very nice, sweet answers, and what you need is honest feedback. So you need to talk to people that you don't know, people who are complete strangers, and you need to ask them 3 things. You need to ask them the first question, that do they agree with this problem, the problem that you have recognized, to say that, oh, there is a lot of traffic on the road, and what you think is that this is a very big issue for a very long time. And if the stranger says yes, then the second question you need to ask him is that you have a solution for this problem. Does he agree with this solution? Okay, so you need to explain your idea of the startup that you have and say, okay, this is my solution idea, this is my startup idea to solve the traffic problem. If the stranger says yes, then you need to ask him the third question. And the third question is, will you pay for this service if I gave it to you? If this app was on your phone and it helped you navigate traffic and get to your destination faster, will you pay for it? And then you need to ask him, how much will he pay for it? Will he pay $1? Will he pay $5? Will he pay nothing? Because this decides your commercial model. This decides your revenue model. Startups are only successful if their business models are correct. Okay, so most people do not achieve success in the startup industry is because they forget this part of validation, and they usually ask friends and family. You should never do that. You have to ask complete strangers. And my recommendation, at least 100 of them. 100 or more strangers are the number of people you need to ask. Now, once you have passed this stage and you're ready, you've got enough good feedback, everybody agrees to your problem, everybody agrees to your solution, and everybody has given you their idea of whether they will pay or not pay for this business idea of yours. Now you're ready to go to next stage, and the next stage is now you need to raise funds. The first funds that you need to raise are from your own pocket. We investors react very negatively for startup entrepreneurs who have not put any money on their own. You see, you always need to follow the American saying of put your money where your mouth is. If you don't have skin in the game, why should I invest with you? Just because you have a good idea? I'll never invest in you. So investors are very negative about people who don't put money themselves into the business. So the first money, the first bootstrap that you need to do is from your own funds. And after that, you need to raise money. Now, this is a very good way for you to start up your entrepreneurship idea, your entrepreneurship journey. But let me tell you something. You need to make sure that you're completely committed to your entrepreneurship idea. You can't do a job and do business, because if you try and do that, the only thing you're doing is messing both of them up. All right, most people think that they can actually balance that act. You can't balance that act. Entrepreneurship is a very serious space. This is your future. This is what's going to make you or it's going to break you. Entrepreneurship is now one of the world's largest growing industries for creating employment. So if you want to make a difference in your life, if you want to change, if you want to achieve success, if you want that better things for your life, then you need to come up with a great idea and follow these steps that I told you, which is, first you need to make a business idea for skills and expertise that you have or a problem that you're suffering with. Then you need to validate that idea by talking to 100+ strangers, the 3 questions that I told you. And always remember, everybody thinks that, being a millionaire is very difficult. Well, actually it's not. All you need to do is to come up with an idea, or which is a product or a service, and find 1 million people who can pay $1 each for that product and service. And all of a sudden, you're a millionaire. I hope this video helps you start your journey of entrepreneurship. And I think most of you can make it if you're really determined. If there is anything that I could do to help you guys, don't ask me for funding. Please don't reach me for funding. I'm here trying to train you to take off. I'm not here trying to be an investor. I choose my investment portfolio when and where I see fit. All right. So I wish you guys all the best and enjoy this video. And if you do join me on my YouTube channel. Take care.